Ready to begin the lesson?
Hi, and welcome to Two Dead Girls, In Between Heaven and Hell and Adventure. I am Sweet Zombie Girl.
And I am Salty Zombie Girl.
So we are here to bring you basically a video recording log of our experience of reading the American Book of the Dead together. And maybe Salty can give you a little bit of experience about what her encounters with this book has been like.
So the American Book of the Dead is a great resource on death and dying. You know, it is, we've read many books on death and dying, but, and they're hard to follow. The thing about American Book of the Dead is it is for the commoner. Like, it is for our generation, you know, it's like, if we know how to read, we can guide ourselves through, we can guide our relatives through the transition stages. You know, it's non-complicated, it is simple, and it is the thing for our time and age. So my first encounter, Sweet Zombie, was in fact when I was listening to this amazing prayer in a virtual sangha, and I just happened to enter the sangha, you know, just randomly, and that was the prayer that was being recited at that point in time. And it was just like, what do I say, like a 360-degree spin, like you go through in a washing machine.
Mm-hmm.
The reading had that impact on my being, and it is an in fact that I carry. It's like a stamp that I carry on my soul even till this date.
Mm-hmm.
This book is something else. The prayer is, it takes you like many levels up. It's like connecting with the absolute straight away, you know. It is really high up there prayer. So the intensity of the connection is really high when you connect with this book. And this book is a great guide, like just touching it, the first time I got the package, I touched the book and I felt that it was definitely more than any book. You know, it was like I could feel it. I could feel it as an entity. I could feel it as a being in itself. It is alive. It is very much alive, this book. And it is very helpful in all kinds of transition, be it for a dead person or alive people. It's for everyone, even for normal life. You know, if you're on a spiritual path, this book helps you in transitioning. So it is very simple to follow. It is practical. It gives you the power, you know. It is very empowering, this book. So that's my experience of the American Book of the Dead, Zombie. You tell me about your first insight, or how did you come in contact with this book, and tell me more about it.
Okay. Well, I know it says the American Book of the Dead, which can be kind of overwhelming to live people. But the way I sort of use this book is that we don't really know what comes after this. We don't really know what comes before this. All of a sudden, we're here in this time, in this space. And for all we really know, this could be the transitional phase. We don't know. So how I use the book is sort of like a guide and instruction on how to get through a difficult space. It's funny because as we decided to do this on the day that Saturn goes direct from its retrograde state, and yesterday I had a notification on my time hop that 1 year ago, yesterday, the day we started the readings, was my 1 year anniversary, sort of my Bardo birthday.
Oh, way.
Yeah, with the ABD. So
Wow.
yeah, so 1 year ago, I was packing up all of my belongings in Los Angeles, and I was preparing myself to move back to the Bronx to be closer to family who was going through some health issues. And my experience was sort of like a metaphorical death, because in Los Angeles I had experienced great freedom. I had my own place. I was in school, and I had this relationship, and the relationship had ended. I had to leave school. I had to sell my car, which was my life at that time. And I had to leave everything. And I remember I was reading the ABD for someone else at that time, but as I was reading, I caught my reflection in the mirror, and like Salty Zombie Girl said, there was a 360-degree transition from that state, sort of like a power wash. I had a moment of recollection that I was reading for myself, that there was no one else, and that I was connected to the universe. It sounds silly to say it out loud, but it was a powerful experience. After that moment, I started reading in the mirror twice a day. And from that really low point in my life, I managed to, with the help of the book, I managed to navigate to a new sense of identity. At the end of the 49 days, or the 49 chambers, I was graduating from Kripalu, a yoga school and ashram in the Berkshires for yoga. And I remember I finished the very last chamber in the Zen Kripalu gardens. And I remember thinking to myself, like, okay, I made it. I made it through the bardos, and now I found a place, a new start, a rebirth, sort, if you will.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it was really actually incredibly amazing. And now in my life, with Saturn being retrograde in Capricorn, it's my Saturn return. Now that it's going direct, I feel like I need that help and that guidance again. Maybe Salty Zombie Girl can relate or not, but I think now would be an excellent time to do this experiment together and read.
It is definitely a great time.
Yeah.
My Saturn is also very up and positive for the next few years. So, is it too much information to give? but
Well,
but yeah, it
only
is
if
a
you
great
feel.
time. It is a great time to actually start the book. And I'm going through a lot of transition right now, Zombie. On your American Book of the Dead birthday today, I mean, I got rid of my car. I am right now moving,
See?
and it feels light. It feels light to
Mm.
actually be doing this right now with you. And I'm very excited to do the readings because I've previously had some spooky experiences with this book. So have you, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so yes, it is an exciting time to start afresh with the American Book of the Dead and 49 Days. And make full use of our deadness.
So how this is going to work is that there are 49 chambers, and each chamber is read, well, 6:30 in the morning and then 6:30 in the evening. So Salty and I will be creating a log of our experiences, seeing if there was a connection made, and then also what happens throughout that day, see if anything comes up. And then once a week, we're going to meet with each other, and we're going to go through the experiences and talk about it and record it for you guys, so you can see the value, and you might be interested in following along with us too as we do it.
It would be great for new voyagers to join in on a 40-day adventure with Sweet and Salty.
Yeah, absolutely. It would be really fun if we had a bunch of
It's
people.
fun to be dead, right? Is there anything more fun in life than being dead?
I
Tell
don't
me.
think so. I think most people spend their life waiting to be dead anyway. So learning to navigate that space now, I think.
We're on the top of the mountain.
So Um, Salty Zombie Girl and I have run in the same sort of online circles for numerous years now. And we've always wanted to, or at least I've always wanted to work on a project with her. So when we finally decided that this would be something that we were going to do, it sort of like bells went off, like ding, 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 ding. And even since we've started this process of working together, already the synchronicities have been starting to add up. So I think that's a really great sign.
It
Um,
is.
yeah. Last night we actually started the readings. We did the first 4 readings, which is the process of the spirit leaving the body. And we did that before Saturn goes retrograde. And maybe we can just go through a little demo now. Maybe we can talk about our experiences last night or early in the morning for Salty. She got up super early and did it, and talk about that a little bit.
It's actually like 3:30 a.m. I think it's perfect time to read the book.
Yeah, it is 3:30.
And if I was not expecting to actually read at 3:30, but how events turned up, the book was in front of me to read for Laurel at 3:30. And it was a pretty good experience. The first 5 chambers that Laurel mentioned is the preparatory reading for the beginners, like for anybody who's beginning the transit stage. And they are read on the very first day. And after that starts the 49 days cycle, wherein we are going to be reading twice every day for each other. So all the readings, usually we begin with a prayer called the Clear Life Prayer. And I think it'll be a good idea to start our session also with a Clear Light Prayer. What do you think?
Yes, I mean, that is something we can definitely begin to do.
Yes, okay. So we will then begin with the most amazing prayer, the Clear Light Prayer, to open this beautiful session ceremoniously.
Just quickly, I wanted to say what my experience of reading for you last night, the first couple readings. And Salty and I had wound up reading the first couple of readings at the same time. And I don't think we planned that. I think it just sort of fell into line with what our schedules were. And there were moments of trying to, establish contact. I had my candle, I had the bell, and then I had her photo here in front of me. But then as I was getting into it, the obligatory reader's invocation that we do 3 times each, the first 2 times I always feel like they're sort of warm-ups or practices, and then the 3rd time it's like, okay, I'm here, I've got it. And that was the case last night. But then as I was reading those first couple entries, the readings, I had images of Salty Zombie Girl, her face or hearing her voice reading the same stuff that I was. And then for it to turn out that we were reading at a roughly the same time was excellent. It was an excellent sign for me that we're doing something.
Yes, I finished reading and I messaged her that, okay, Laurel, I've just finished the readings. Mm-hmm. And he said, me also, in fact, and I was like, okay, so we're like exchanging so much. And we are exchanging it at a very quick pace, I must say.
So each week we're going to also be discussing sort of a Bardo movie. The Bardos is what we're traveling in right now. The American Book of the Dead, the Bardos, is this afterlife or sort of hazy in-between state where I would describe the Bardos as if you were lost in a dream and you were trying to make decisions to find whatever that destination was. And imagine having a book that guides you through those hazy, strange, in-between state. So we're going to be watching a Bardo movie, a movie that sort of encapsulates that state. And for the last week, well, actually not the last week, I would love it if you guys could check out Enter the Void by Gaspar Noé, which is, I think, his interpretation of the Tibetan Book of the Dead. And it's pretty accurate. It's very visually stimulating. And if you're interested in reading what my opinion of this book was, you can go to my website, zombiegirl.com. I'll put it in the little info. And you can check out the blog by that name. But yeah, please do check it out. Write us a comment if you've seen it. You know, let us know. And last thing, Salty, do you want to explain about a little bit about how the American Book of the Dead is related to the Tibetan or the Indian or the Egyptian Book of the Dead?
I would say, see, everybody dies in the same way. This journey of the soul is essentially the same. Everybody puts it in a different context and a different traditional rituals to aid the process of transition. There is the Indian Book of the Dead. It's called Garud Puran, which helps transition. There is the Egyptian Book of the Dead, and then there is the Tibetan Book of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel there is a lot of influence in the works of EJ from the Tibetan Book of the Dead. These books are really difficult to follow for a common person, as I said previously. So American Book of the Dead is heck easy. It's like for everybody out there. It is plain English, simple to follow. You have a good heart, you have a copy of the book, and you know how to read, and you want to help someone in the transition stage, or you want to help yourself in the transition stage. These are the only requirements for you to guide. You don't need to be a shaman, or you don't need to have like years and years of spiritual experience to guide someone through this. This book is all you need with a good heart and a good intention and focus. And that's it. Everything else is done. It is practical, simple. It just almost overwhelms you. I mean, the list of adjectives is endless, but I want the experience to speak more about the book as we go along the passage.
Absolutely.
I think it will be fun to then begin the clear light reading.
Sure, absolutely. Just to add to what you were saying right there, I think in our present day culture that there isn't really any guidance for that afterlife state. I think a lot of people have agreed that it doesn't really exist, or they abide.
A lot of people don't even believe that there is an afterlife.
Yeah, exactly. I think we've become, as a society, sort of spiritually nihilistic. And the thing about these ancient books is that they have all this wonderful wisdom and knowledge, but it's like reading the Canterbury Tales, right? Unless you have someone explain it to you, or you have a very intuitive dialectical nature, it's almost impossible to pick up what they're saying or what they're talking about. I wanted to read just a sentence or two from one of the readings we discussed last night that really stuck out to me. An example of how easy this book is to understand for our new generation is, I don't look for the clear light in front of or behind me. It won't be there because I am the clear light itself. The clear light is my nature. That's very, very basic, but it's also powerful.
Yeah.
It's that neither attracted nor repelled. It's I can't reach for this over here, and I can't run from it either, because this is all that I am. And it's wonderful reading, just to read through. But yes, why don't we do the clear light prayer? Salty, that's a great idea. Do you want to lead us?
Yeah, maybe you can read if you. I mean, you can read.
I would love to hear you do it. I hear myself do it all the time. I would love to.
Yeah. Let me fetch a bell then, in that case. Or
maybe I can ring the bell if you want. We can work together that way. So I have a bell here. This is actually my mother's tiny little singing bell, which is really special and really sweet, and I love it. So hi, Mom. All right. So I'll go ahead. I'll ring the bell, and then whenever you feel centered and ready, you can take it away and read the prayer for us. So, may this reading of the clear light, confronting the clear light, be used for all beings everywhere, for the benefit of all beings everywhere.
Reading number 4, confronting the clear light. Now, I am experiencing the clear light of objective reality. Nothing is happening, nothing ever has happened or ever will happen. My present sense of self, the Voyager, is in reality the void itself, having no qualities or characteristics. I remember myself as the Voyager, whose deepest nature is the clear light itself. I am one, there is no other. I am the voidness of the void, the eternal unborn, the uncreated, neither real nor unreal. All that I have been conscious of is my own play of consciousness, a dance of light, the swirling patterns of light in infinite extension, endless endlessness, the absolute beyond change, existence, reality. I, the Voyager, am inseparable from the clear light. I cannot be born, die, exist, or change. I know now that this is my true nature. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om peace, peace, peace. May these efforts be used for the benefit of all beings everywhere.
Thank you for that, Alka. All right, everyone. I think that's the end of our first show. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching this, especially people who are in the same community as us. I really, really appreciate it. We're just two dead girls trying to do some work. So yeah, give us a like, a follow, and encouragement. Really, thank you for being here with us. Next week, we'll be back with our reading logs. We'll talk about that a little bit more. And also, we'll be discussing a Bardo film. Next week is what? What film are we going to do next week?
Well, there's a. I was thinking Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Not the third time, please.
Okay. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing. We'll be talking about Beetlejuice, and we'll be going through more of the Book of the Dead. I want to thank you. I want to thank you, Salty, for
Thank
doing.
you so much, Laurel.
Yeah, this is really fun.
Zombie. It's
Yeah.
a pleasure to do this, and it is an absolute adventure. Now, the entire week, we are going to be reading for each other twice a day. We will share short updates on our Instagram profiles, tigermoth.ind and Sweet Zombie Girl. Check out Salty Zombie Girl's blogs and follow the links in our YouTube channel. Make sure you follow us and do join in. If you want, you can get a copy of the American Book of the Dead, or just write into us and we shall see how can we get you started with the American Book of the Days, 49 Days of Transition with the two of us right now. Let us know so that we can do this together and have more fun. Like, you can just join in the adventure and help us at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, share without any inhibitions.
Yeah, we are in the Bardos now. We're officially in the Bardos, so wish us luck.